Taxes are your greatest single expense you're ever going to have. Tax is the biggest eroder of wealth, bar none. And when you look at the compound effect of that for 10, 20, 30 years, it's astronomical. So you need to get good at this. Welcome to Gym Owner Freedom. I am Scott Carpenter, and I am a former broke, struggling, frustrated, and overworked gym owner that felt stuck no matter what I did to try and improve the business. Once I realized that the answer wasn't what I thought it was, just getting more clients, and after really doing the math on acquisition and churn rates, I realized I wasn't even playing a winnable game to begin with. With my current price structure, mathematically, there was no way I could afford to pay my staff so I could scale up and out of the business, that I could have the time, the money, the impact, and the freedom that I always knew I was capable of. Once I learned how to add value by selling transformational programs to people who needed more than just workouts, everything changed in my life. Today, I own 6 gyms that all run without me, and I am free to pursue my passion projects and work just because I love to, not because I have to. And if that's a goal that we mutually share together, then this is the show for you. I'm going to teach you the framework to make way more money with less clients and open up a world of possibilities to you. Subscribe, leave a review, and tune in every week. It'll change your life. I promise you that. Welcome, everybody. We're going to talk about 6 figures in tax savings annually for gym owners, the top 15 fully legal tax write-offs and credits. This is very near and dear to my heart because I think the government wastes our money like nobody's business. And in fact, I know that they do. And the thing is like a lot of times, all the money, not to get on my soapbox, but all the money going into government and all the arrangements that they have with big corporations, it works against small business. So many of us were shut down while Target and Walmart and Amazon could still operate and be open. It's disgusting. So the main thing is, guys, we need every advantage that we can take. Now, these giant corporations, they have, tax strategists, they've got accountants, they got everything. You need to be armed and equipped with these same tools and tactics as well. So that's what we're going to go over today. We're going to get right to it. This is massively important stuff. It will literally save you millions of dollars over the course of your career. Millions. And that's not hyperbole, guys. Millions. Okay. We did not learn this stuff anywhere. The common person doesn't know how to do this. You cannot rely just on your accountant or your tax preparer to know all this stuff, though. I've had to teach mine a couple things. The bottom line is they don't know all the ins and outs of this stuff. And you didn't learn this in school, right? There's my Dr. Evil. I love Dr. Evil right there. I would like to learn how to do my taxes. Public school, molten rock is called magma. We learn tons of irrelevant stuff. We don't learn how to handle our taxes. So one thing to know, I am not an accountant. I'm not a registered financial advisor. So don't rely on me to make these decisions. I'm just here to educate, inform you of what can be done and what I'm doing. Run it by them just to make sure everything's to a T and it's applicable in your situation. But the bottom line, guys, is taxes are your greatest single expense you're ever going to have. They are. A lot of people think it might be your house or food or this, that. Taxes are huge. We pay taxes. Think about it, though. Now, I'm not even talking just income tax. You pay tax on payroll to your employees. You pay tax on the rent you pay your landlord. If you own the building, you're paying taxes. Every single meal you eat, go eat out at a restaurant. What is it, like 11% in a lot of places, right? You're paying tax on the phone bills for your business. Self-employment tax to yourself. If you pay yourself as a W-2, that gets taxed. The real estate, right? Groceries, hotel stays, auto purchase, your water bill, investments. Everything is taxed on multiple levels. You pay enough taxes. You don't have to donate extra with your income tax either. Okay. So take this stuff seriously. It's massive tax savings. The reason I have been able to grow from 1 gyms to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, and I just signed a lease for my 7th location yesterday. Part of that is the reason I have, yes, my gyms are profitable. They make a lot of money, right? But I also get to keep a lot of that money because I nail the tax code. And what that allows me to do is invest in my 7th gym instead of donate it to the government and doing whatever the hell they want to do with it, right? Chris, awesome to see you. Thanks for letting me know that the mic's on. So this is important. I really want you to take notes. We can send you the recording afterwards. Just shoot in the comments. We'll send you the recording as well. But it's a really important one to do, okay? The bottom line is, like I said before, you can make better use of your money than the IRS can. You will use this money to buy things, right, and support other jobs, but you'll also create more jobs. The more money you make and keep, you can do another location. You can expand, right? You can pay for services that you're currently doing. You're going to create jobs and opportunity. You're going to keep the money circulating. You can do additional locations. You can provide housing, right, and have long-term rentals. You can provide vacation rentals. You can start another business. You can create family wealth. These are all things I've done because I really aggressively go after the tax code, okay? My gyms have, I don't know what it is. The last time I looked it up, they brought in over $14 million in revenue. A lot of profit too. But I have paid out a very small amount in my income tax, okay? And this I recycle. I take all this extra cash and I built additional locations. I have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of real estate. I use the rest to do infinite banking and a lot of investment stuff. But the bottom line is, guys, you're familiar with Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. You can make money as an employee, self-employed, which is a lot of where we're at. And then you get leverage by turning a self-employment situation into a full business that has the ability to run without you. Right now, you're getting leverage. You're making money without your direct time involvement. And then the last step is really to become an investor. Have your money make more money. And tax is the biggest eroder of wealth, bar none. And when you look at the compound effect of that for 10, 20, 30 years, it's astronomical. So you need to get good at this. Jason, I'll get you the recording. Awesome. But anyways, like, yeah, you guys know I'm an open book. I share a lot of my P&Ls with you. And well, actually, I have it open. The $14 million when I last checked, right? You guys know I share full year P&Ls, right? Here's one, here's 2 locations. I can share others, but I also share like my investments. I share cash flow coming in from my real estate. I share how much appreciation comes in, how much amortization, all those things. I want you guys to be amazingly successful and wealthy to where it's not relying, your business and your life doesn't revolve around you working 50 hours a week to make ends meet. By all means, if you love working 50 hours a week, do it. I'm working more hours than I used to in a long time because I love what I'm freaking doing. I love the amount of growth that I've experienced in 2.5 years becoming a business coach. I love adding locations with owner operators to give them an amazing opportunity and also me an amazing opportunity. I love teaching gym owners how to absolutely crush this. The bottom line is I was able to retire in my 30s from my gyms. I want the same thing for you. Or in your 40s, if you're in your 40s. Okay. The sooner you get started in learning these things, the faster you can get to financial security and financial abundance. And then work becomes a lot more fun because you work because you want to, not because you have to. So a lot of you are familiar with the fact that you launch, you grow, you scale, then you achieve freedom where you can choose to work when you want to work. You can choose to attack the projects you want to attack. You can have lifestyle assets. You can have Airbnbs that you go to vacation with, but also pay you. So this is my goal. This is where I want all of you to get, is to get financially stable, then abundant, and then build indestructible wealth. Okay. Starting with the tax code. Let's get right back to it. And if you guys have any questions as we go along, throw the comments in there. If you want me to elaborate on certain things, if you have specific things that you have questions on, throw them in there. Okay. First and foremost, it's technically not a write-off, but most of you should be electing to be taxed as an S Corp. So most of you have LLCs. That's really the right structure. It's the cheapest. It's the best way to go for the most part. And you can be taxed as a pass-through or partnership, right? In which case you have to pay 14% for self-employment taxes. Once you reach a certain profitability, you'd have to talk to your tax person, but it's probably around $40,000, $50,000. You're better off now filing your taxes. You don't have to change your structure as an S Corp. And what essentially that does is now you're paying yourself a W-2 salary. Okay. So let's say, for instance, let's take an instance of you making $150,000 in profit. So if you are making $150,000 in profit, your self-employment tax is roughly $21,000. Okay. That sucks, right? But What if you paid yourself a $40,000 salary and you took the $110,000 in distributions, right? So you're only paying the 14% on $40,000, which is $5,600. And what did I say the other one was? $21,000. So right away, you are going to save cash in your pocket $15,400 more than you otherwise already would with rough math. Okay. Huge. If you make more than that, yeah, if you're doing like 500 grand a year, you're going to save like $63,000 in taxes. It's amazing. So I pay myself a very small salary, like 40 grand a year or so. Maybe it's 36. I don't even know. Just enough to keep me out of trouble with the IRS. That's my goal. And then the rest, I don't have to pay that 14% on. That's massive, guys. Trump, back a few years ago, passed a huge thing for small businesses. Now, not all of them qualify, but if I had to guess for gym owners, I'd say 99.9% of you would qualify for it, where there's a 20% reduction on the pass-through entities. So you can have a huge, so let's use that same example, $150,000. Okay. You're paying yourself 40. So there's $110,000 of that you're taking with the pass-through distributions, right? $110,000. Well, there's a 20% cut in that. So that's huge. You're only going to get your respective percentage is going to lower it by $22,000. That is a lot. Okay. Another big one that is going to be very specific for your accountant to work out if you qualify for that. Like I said, almost all of you will. Dave, what's going on? Augusta rule. This is my favorite. So your house, did you know you can use your house to write things off? It's pretty cool. So I'm going to do $14,000 this year. So when I have meetings, whether they're for my gyms, whether it's for PT Legends, we're flying in Will and Dave is coming here. We're flying in Josh Price. I can have my business lease my home to do our meetings here. Okay. Meetings or events. And so what you want to do is look up, hey, what's a comparable thing on Airbnb or VRBO? And what's a reasonable rate that I could rent my house to? Now you can do up to 14 days and not have to pay taxes on it. So let's say I'm going to rent my own house to my business for $1,000 a day. I get to deduct $14,000 off of my taxes. Okay. And I don't have to pay any tax on it personally or on the business. It's a total write-off. So let's say your tax bracket is 25% at that $14,000. You've just saved $3,500 cash in your pocket. Essentially, it's about $300 a month. You're gaining from doing nothing but using the tax code to your advantage. Okay. Moving on, your auto. I recently was on with a gym owner maybe a month or two ago, and their accountant said, listen, commuting doesn't qualify. And I know you don't use your truck for anything other than that. And so ethically, I can't have you write that off in your taxes. Okay. So here's the thing. That's common. You hear this a lot. I want you to find somebody that's in like a 9 on the aggression scale. That's where I'm comfortable. Find me an accountant or a tax preparer that's a 9 out of 10 on the aggression scale. I'm not going to do anything illegal to where I go to jail for sure. I'm not stepping there, but I want somebody to really go after every single thing I'm entitled to. There's a loophole on this. Okay. So if you just use your car to drive to the gym and back, yeah, technically you might not be able to write that off, but there is a loophole. Okay. If you're also deducting your home office, which we'll get to in a minute, now you can deduct that. So that's the trick. And I'll get to that in just a second. There are 2 ways to write off your automobile. Generally, if you've paid more for an automobile, you might be better off doing actual expenses on this one. You're going to deduct 100% of your fuel, your tags, your insurance, your maintenance, your interest, and then you'll also depreciate it. There's accelerated depreciation for heavy vehicles with a GVWR rating over 6,000 pounds. I'll let you look that up. If you Google Section 179, you can learn all about it. If you have a cheaper vehicle, generally standard mileage is best. If you've got 8,000 business miles times 65 cents a mile, you can write off $5,200. So again, let's just assume you're in a 25% bracket, $1,300 you're going to save from doing that. If you have a more expensive vehicle, in some cases, you can deduct your entire vehicle, like say it's 60 grand in the first year, but you want to work with your accountant just to make sure. Okay. So the loophole is if you have a deductible home office, you're golden. Okay. So let's get right to that. Home office deduction. This is really important. It has to be a dedicated space only for work. In my house, my office is like 200 and almost 300 square feet. So I can take the total of basically my mortgage, my utilities, my repair bills, all of that. And I'll take the percentage of square foot of my office out of my whole house. And there's how much I can deduct. So whether you have a separate room or an area or whatever it is, you're good to go. That's how you do it. So it's going to be a double whammy. That's going to allow you to write off your automobile. And you're going to get the extra from the home office. Can you see how these are adding up? Even in just the S Corp, the 20% reduction, Augusta Rural, auto, home office, huge. Now the accountable plan, sometimes you have to stick certain things in the accountable plan. I'm going to let your accountant talk about that. I'm actually going to take that out right now because sometimes your auto or your home expenses would be within that. Let them help you write this off the right way. But I want to make sure you bringing all of these to them. Okay. I want to make sure you're bringing all of these to them so they know how to do it properly. Okay. So let's get into other things. Pretty much every single health insurance plan, which by the way, right down here is deductible. If you're paying like $900 a month for your family, there you go. About an $11,000 deduction right there. Okay. Also, pretty much every single plan on the market is a high deductible plan. When that's the case, you can get a health savings account. Now, a health savings account will just make all your medical expenses deductible as well. Okay. So the bottom line is you can set one up. HSA Bank is what I have done it from. It's super low fees to set it up. You can set it online in minutes. You can add for a family up to $7,750 per year. Okay. Now, when you pay any kind of expenses that are qualified, they can be from your prescriptions or a doctor's appointment or whatever it is, all that kind of stuff, surgeries, you pay it through there. And I just do a distribution myself and pay it on my credit card. But all of that, as long as it's used for medical stuff, all of that is deductible. Okay. So when you withdraw it to yourself, you don't pay taxes on it. So you get the deduction immediately when you put money into the health savings account, and then you can reimburse yourself anytime and you're not paying taxes on it. A huge loophole. It's only $7,750 a year, but that's pretty damn awesome. So again, what does that represent? 7,750 times 0.25, $2,000, almost $2,000, $1,900, a little over, right? So divide that by 12. Cool. Now you're making an extra $160 a month for nothing. Fair? Pretty cool. And again, if you got questions, throw them down there. That's who I recommend to use hsabank.com. Now, travel and vacations. There are a lot of ways to make your travel or your vacations for business reasons, and you can write it off. So parts of your airfare, your stay, all that kind of stuff. The great thing is now that I'm in real estate and this and that, even when I say at Airbnbs, there's a lot of research I can do, looking at different areas to potentially buy places. There's a lot of reasons. I have gym owner clients all over the world, right? So pretty much I can make a good case that I can turn anything into a business trip, and you can get a lot out of your travel and vacations. Okay. Health insurance, we cover that. It's a good $11,000 for me a year that I write off. Your cell phone, your internet. Obviously, if it's at the gym, you got it. But what about your personal internet? Well, I've got my business right at home, remember? So I get to write that off. Office expenses, computer equipment, this microphone, my podcast equipment, all the cameras. Obviously, those are deductions as well. So meals out, right? This changes every year a little bit. So again, work with your tax preparer, but there are so many ways to make meals out a business meal. So make sure you're taking advantage of all of those things. And then meals in. So quite often I use Icon Meals. I've taught you in previous trainings, and you can just type in Icon and I can get you those trainings if you want, how to get wholesale accounts with Icon Meals. And then we provide those meals to our clients and we make a good chunk of money. If somebody's doing lunch and dinner 6 days a week, we just drop ship it to them. We're making $400 or $500 a month profit just from that. Now, the cool thing is I order these meals for myself as well. I don't really like to cook. I don't have tons of time for it. I want to eat healthy. It just makes sense for me to just basically just send them to my house, right? I design them exactly how I want. Cool thing is I found a way to write those off too. So there's a good $5,800 a month that I'm writing off on my meals as well, right? Supplements, clothing, athletic gear. If you're in front of the camera, you're on the floor, right? All your athletic wear, very good chance that's all deductible. Okay. So even just in these things, and obviously your mileage will vary. If you're making less money, well, I mean, good chance you're not going to be paying taxes. And if you don't have as much money where you're not spending as much on these certain things, you'll still get a great benefit, right? It's just not going to be as high. So what about more advanced things? Well, you can hire your child. They got to be of a certain age and all that stuff, but you can hire your child and up to $12,900 in income is not taxable. So I've got 2 kids. I can shelter $25,800 in revenue and not pay taxes on it. So just another way to take this stuff to another level. Do you have to do $12,900 for everybody? No, it's up to that. So you can go where you're comfortable. Same as your health savings account. Maybe you only got $2,000 to put in there. Cool. Take advantage of it, right? So let's move on here. So the other big thing is once you really take care of all your deductions and your credits, right? Credits are like the ERC with employee retention credits. Credits can be, personally, I'm doing this. It only makes sense if you're in a really hot climate. I'm in Arizona. It's an oven here right now. Solar easily pays for itself, easily. Right now, there are massive tax credits. I don't even remember what it is. I'd have to look it up. I can't remember, but I'm getting solar installed in the next month. And it's like $10,000, maybe $15,000. I'm going to get as a credit, which means whatever my tax bill, that comes off of it, which is pretty amazing. So we want to look at other things now. After you've maximized your deductions and taken advantage of credits, what are some other ways you can shelter income so that you don't pay taxes on it, or at least delay it by 10, 20, 30 years? So you can do a self-directed 401k IRA. Depending on how your business set up, you can really not pay taxes on a lot. Now, I don't do a lot with IRAs and 401ks. I don't like to have money sitting in those things where I can't invest it. So I do a little bit different stuff, but there are still some ways you can make use of it. And a Roth IRA is good. Now it doesn't shield you from the taxes now, but it shields you from the taxes when you take it out later. Those are all good to do, right? I personally use overfunded whole life policies. I can definitely send you trainings on that. That's a little bit more advanced investment and wealth building. But the main thing is, guys, when you reinvest this money into your business, you can write it all off or depreciate it. So this is one reason why, even though my gyms have brought in well over $14 million at this point, I have paid so few taxes, because me starting up this 7th location, just signing the lease yesterday, well, whatever that startup fee is, right? However much it costs, say it's $120,000 to start it up. I get to depreciate that. And maybe in the first year, I'll take $20,000. Next year, I'll take $30,000. Like, you can do it in different ways. But the bottom line is because I keep expanding my business, I have more and more write-offs to offset the income that's coming in from it. So when you grow your business, you're actually providing yourself with huge tax benefits as well. Real estate. So I've got a house that's a long-term rental. I've got 2 short-term rental Airbnbs. I've got a commercial one where I pay myself rent. All of these are a way to take the income from the rent, and because you depreciate against the house and also your expenses on it, man, I'm not going to be paying money on my real estate income for a very long time, a very long time. And if you own your commercial building, Icon is awesome, Carl. Hell yeah, they're so good. Guys, get your meals and get it written off. You're going to save time and money. It's crazy. But the bottom line is, with real estate, like, you pay rent to yourself. You can pay yourself a little bit more rent than you should, and then you don't pay taxes on it because you have so much to write off on the price of the property. So there's so many different levers that you can pull. Okay. I want you guys to start with the low hanging fruit. Some of this might be over your head right now, right? But you can probably do the Augusta rule and your auto. your home office, health savings account, travel vacations, cell phone, internet, office expenses, health insurance, meals in, meals out, supplements, all that kind of stuff. Okay. You can make sure your accountant is filing you when it's appropriate as an S corp. That is one of the biggest. I was just on with a business owner last week. He's not a gym, actually. He's filing himself as an S corp, but he's also paying himself $150,000 for a salary. Okay. So the last thing, he's just voluntarily paying an extra 14% on that $150,000. And he's got the right formation. He's just not using it correctly. So I want to make sure you're using that correctly. That is one of the biggest things. RC, you want info on Icon Meals? You got it, man. We'll get it coming to you right after. So yes, are you guys following on this? If you have questions, throw them in there. So these are my favorite ones. These are incredibly easy to do. You might have to push your taxpayer, your accountant to do it. They might not bring this to your attention. That's why I want to bring this to your attention. Okay. Moving on. The big thing though, is obviously the more money you make, the bigger these write-offs are going to be for you. Okay. So really everyone watching, some of you might be making $200,000 total profit owner benefit. Some of you might not be. At the end of the day, you can all do this. You can probably do it with one location if you have the right business model. But the main thing is guys, it's so easy. You need to take your income producing abilities seriously. 11 years ago, I got my first location. 11 years ago, I got my first location. I was happy going into that. I'm like, man, if I can just make $40,000 a year and cover my bills, I'll be happy. But here's the thing is like, you can do so much more. I don't care if you've been struggling for 8 years and you're stuck at your revenue ceilings and you can't make any more profit. There are ways to bust past that. When I figured this shit out, it changed my entire life. A lot of you guys know how I did it, and some of you don't. But the main thing is I need you to commit to making more money and getting unstuck where you're at. You can do $200,000 in a single location. These P&Ls, both of them do that. Okay. This one does have $317,000 in profit. This one has $240,000 in profit. Even my ones that are lagging can make over $100,000 in profit without me working in it. Okay. Without me working in it, you can do this. Absolutely. You just need to do the right things. And if you always rely on more clients, volume, listen, if you have a unicorn location and volume just comes to you, man, thank God for that. Because that's 2% of people, if that just, hey, you're in the right location with the right density and maybe lack of competitors, or maybe it's just good timing in the SEO. It just works. It's a magic location. I know a lot of people that have a unicorn location that have maybe 2, 3, 4 other locations. They can't duplicate the same success there. And it's not because they're doing different things. It's just, congratulations, you won the lottery on that location. It's a lot easier there. I have a location that's a lot easier, but I can't duplicate that, right? And so the thing is like a lot of the people who have one of those locations, they want to be a business coach and they want to show it. But here's the thing, like you can't rely on volume. You know that since the pandemic, churn is higher and volume is a pain in the ass. It's really hard. People are staying less. If you have been watching the reports on F45s and on Exponential Fitness and how these low price, high volume places are going, it is not looking good. It is not looking good. Just this week, F45 announced it's going to voluntarily pull itself off of the stock exchange because it's a shell game. They have been misrepresenting numbers. They are going like it's crazy. And this is like the number 2 one probably, right? Next to Orange Theory or maybe Fit Body Bootcamp. I don't know. But the bottom line is, and a lot of those, shit, guys, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. These volume plays are hard. What you have to learn how to do, and this changed everything for me, is how to make way more money from the same number of clients. And it's not just by raising prices. It's by adding on additional offers. So you have 3 types of people that come into your gym. People have a strong desire to change, right? Then you have people who want to get in great shape. And then you have people who just want to move, sweat, and have fun. And the thing is like The workouts are for these people in the third category, but that's typically all we do. You might do nutrition, but probably not well. It's probably a very small percentage of your revenue. It's like pulling teeth to get them to change. And you don't do it very well. But the bottom line is, like, you need to have a high ticket offer for people who really need to change. It's you taking them by the hand, becoming their mentor, and you can charge $2,000 to $6,000 for a 9-week program. Right? I think I've got it where it's fleshed out somewhere. Depends on your business model. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. Right? $2,000 to $8,000. Really, you can sell it higher. We've sold it as high as $8,000 for a 9-week mentorship. And here's the thing though: is not everybody can afford that, and that's okay. And some people, they can afford it, but like, I don't have that big burning of a desire, but I do want to lose weight. That's your mid-ticket offer. That could be $599 to $1,499 for a 6-week program. Could be 4 weeks. Really easy. But hey, if I'm just here to get workouts in, I don't care about that. That's what you're doing already. That's selling the workouts. But most of you are just selling the workouts. And guess what, guys? That is actually not what they're coming in for. It's what they think. They're like, I feel like crap about myself. Therefore, I need to lose weight. I need to get in shape. Therefore, I need to work out. I need to work out. I need to work out. Is working out going to solve their problems? Hell no, it's not. You're not going to lose 50 pounds by working out. You're going to lose 50 pounds by working out 3 hours a week and by doing what you need to outside of your 4 walls, outside of your gym for the other 165 hours in the week. That is what you need to sell. That's why you can command these prices. That's the only reason why. Guys, you can only sell workouts for so much. I don't care if it's group, semi, or one-on-one. There's a range, right? There's a range that you can't go beyond. But for the people who need more than workouts, which is probably 90% of your people, you're not delivering on. When you learn how to do that, you will easily make double the amount of money per person. So if you're at 20K and you want to get to 40K, instead of going from 100 members to 200 members, you'll have high, middle, and low ticket items. And your high and your middle will start to offset your low. And you watch. It'll take you a few months and your average client value will double with the same number of clients. Imagine right now, you have the same gym with the same number of clients, but your revenue is double what it is now. That would probably triple your profit with no extra work, with no more people, with no extra things you need to do on marketing, just what you already have. Guys, we've done it again and again and again and again and again with all these gym owners. This is how you do it. I don't care whether you're CrossFit, a boot camp, semi, PT, doesn't matter, okay? It works for all of them. We've done it with Lauren. We've done it with a billion people, guys. These P&Ls that you see that are getting like 40 to 50% profit margins, why do you think that is? It's because of exactly this. And that's the thing. You don't have to do $1 million a year to make $250,000 in profit. You can do half that and make $250,000 in profit. That's almost the numbers to the T here. This is bringing in 495,000, and the profit's 240,000. Pretty good. Pretty good. It's not as hard as you think. You just got to have the right strategy. Hey, just a quick reminder to everybody, if you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 more this month, every month, by making more money with less clients with transformational programs and create a consistent flow of high quality leads, you can learn more about what it's like to work with me and my team at PT Legends and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. It is such a no-brainer that it more than pays for itself when we teach you how to enroll just two case study clients. Really, that's it. So go to CoachScottCarpenter.com and learn more about it. So let's get back to it. So you need to take your earning ability seriously. You can get unstuck. I've been stuck for 6 years before I started to move the needle. You can do it. Just got to learn the right things. And for those of you that want our help to help you do it, we have an 8-week program that'll do everything on this. We'll teach you how to build it, sell it, fulfill it. We'll give you our entire proprietary fulfillment system for free and renew them, convert them into 12-month clients on EFT and boost that MRR. It is not hard. You do not need to get another 100 clients to make another $100,000. You just don't. All my clients, all my gyms, the ones that you see on these P&Ls, they all have less than 100 members, all have less than 100 clients. It's entirely possible. Okay. So that's it. Is like the main thing is 200. If you're not at 200K and you want to talk and see if this 8-week program might be a good fit for you and your gym, comment 200K. Comment 200K. And what we'll do is we'll take a look at where you're at. We'll take a look at your lead flow. Do we need to make changes there organically and with paid? If you're doing paid, really tough nut to crack, but we've cracked it. We'll take a look at your acquisition. We'll take a look at your prices and offers. We'll make our recommendations. And if you want to learn about our 8-week program, we'd be happy to talk about it. But guys, it doesn't have to be a sales call. We're not going to try and convince you. We'll give you the facts and you let us know if you're interested. It's as simple as that. We go to war with the gym owners that we work with. I don't need to be doing this and showing up every Thursday at 12 p.m. I do this because I want to do this. I am retired in my gyms. This is my passion job. I freaking love it. Anytime we can get people to make big progress, it is a dream for me. We've had Hugh on here before, but he started with us going out of business. He was 2 months behind on rent. He was doing $9K a month. In 2 months, in his first month working with us in this 8-week program, he had his all-time best revenue month ever. In his second, he finished at 38.5K. Insane. Changed his entire life. He was on a sinking ship. He was working with another mentor for the last year and a half, wasn't going anywhere. And he was going down, slowly getting behind. Changed it like that. By the way, he did no paid ads because he had no money for it, obviously, right? He just started paid ads this month. You can crush it with our organic system. Organic marketing is insane, guys. And we will help you get leads for free. You've just got to do it. You literally have to copy and paste our shit. It is nuts. So guys, don't be shy about hopping on a call with us. We're not going to present you with a one-time only offer that you need the decision now or else the benefit goes away. No, that's not what we do. We are here to help you. And even if you want to do this on your own, great. I want you showing up at these trainings every Thursday, 12 p.m. Pacific time. I want you engaged. I want you asking questions. What are owner draws? Good question. So owner draws, if you notice on where I showed you my P&Ls, right? Where this one's doing $317,000 in profit. This one's doing $240,000 in profit. This excludes any pay to ownership, right? And I did that for simplicity reasons because sometimes an owner's pay might be in payroll or labor or something like that. So I took out all of those so you can see exactly what's the total benefit or profit to the owner. And so we didn't have to worry about, hey, what is a salary versus what is a distribution on profits. So owner draws include all that. So basically the total benefit to the owner in this case is $317,000 and 612 cents or $612. And the other one is $240,000, $313. $240,313. Good question. Okay, so that's it, guys. Comment 200K. So we in 1 week, less than a week, on Monday, we're starting up our new batch of gym owners for our 8-week program. We only take on a small amount and work with a small amount of people at a time because we are with you 2, 3, 4 times a week to make sure you absolutely crush this thing. So if that's you, don't hesitate to hop on a call because it's starting on Monday. We have a couple open spots on it. So that's what I want to leave you with. And then what I want to do is there's quite a few of you on right now. I want to open you up to what questions do you have? And taxes, anything else. It could be on leads, acquisition. I don't care. But what questions do you have? Throw them in the comments. I will try to monitor, see if I can see them all. We have more comments than it's allowing me to see right now. And I will also check on the webinar version to see if I've got any questions on there. How can you hire your child? Okay. I believe they have to be a certain age, 6 or 7 or something like that. I think it's 7. Look it up. But your child could help with cleaning. Okay. They could help with administrative stuff, stuffing envelopes. They could help out with whatever have you, and you can legally pay them. So maybe they're just shadowing and learning, and maybe they're just doing some administrative stuff for you. The bottom line is Doesn't have to be done well, but you can pay them for it. You can pay a 7-year-old. So you can Google that real quick, but talk to your accountant on it to make sure it runs through them and they're okaying it. But the bottom line is you just add them to W-2 and up to $12,900 in income for them, they do not pay taxes on. They do not pay taxes on. And then you can take that money and do a lot of cool stuff with them. You can even do a whole life insurance policy on them, which is insanely lucrative. And you can access that money anytime you want to. And Carl, can you share the trainings on the whole life policy? Absolutely. I'll send those over to you. It's beyond the scope of this training, but it is wild what you can do. I funnel a lot of the profits of the business into a specifically overfunded whole life policy. Most whole life policies are not good, by the way, but a specific one. And then I take that money, I loan it to myself, even though it's still making the full return. And then I will start up another gym, or I will buy a Airbnb or whatever have you. So I'm making money with my investments and I'm making money in the whole life policy. And it has so many other benefits to the owner. People can't sue you and get it. It'll set your family up for life, no matter what happens. And it's guaranteed payouts forever. It's really cool. So I'll send you the training on it. And I can connect you to a great guy who helps design these policies for business owners like you and I. Cool. RC. So if your S Corp and owner's salary is $80K, that's an expense for S Corp biz. Owner draws separate from your owner's salary. So yeah. So mine are different. The ones I showed you, I actually have a holding company that owns each individual one. So I have this is a really good thing, guys. If you have multiple locations, I have a holding company that owns all my other gyms. So the profits on those go to my holding company. It goes to my holding company. And then from the holding company, that's the only place I take my salary from. So I take my salary from there. And so I have hundreds of thousands of dollars that I get to take as distributions where I don't pay the 14% on. So if you just have one location, pay yourself a salary. Yes, that's a W-2, will come off as an expense. Then you have your profit. And when your taxes get done and you do all your write-offs, you don't pay that extra 14% on everything else. So it's a big, big savings. But the way I have it set up for me specifically with multiple locations, one holding company, then I have multiple LLCs underneath. All the profits go to that. So I pay myself one salary and I take a huge amount where I don't have to pay 14% in self-employment taxes. So great question on that one. Great question on that one. Now, if you don't have tons of profit, it doesn't matter really whether you're an S Corp or not. You might be better off just to pass through LLC. But at a certain point, S Corp is really what you need to be doing. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm not an accountant. So run it by all those guys first. But that's it, guys. And we're coming up in 45 minutes. So I'm going to let you guys go. Reach out, be happy to hop on a call. If you need to make more money as well. So, and if you want the recording on this, just throw that in there. We'll get it to you and we'll get everything else. You want the whole life thing too? No problem. I will shoot that over. I'll just need a few hours to get to it. We'll have the team send it over to you. No problem. So guys, thank you so much for coming on. Every Thursday, 12 p.m. PST, I am here teaching you exactly what I have done to build the businesses and the life that I have now. Happy to share it. Loved being on this journey with you. We will see you next week, guys. Thank you. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 a month or more this month by making more money with less clients and create a consistent flow of high-quality leads, you can learn about what it's like to work with me and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. And if you got any value out of this episode, please pay it forward and leave a review for this show. It helps other gym owners find the answers to the huge problems that we all share. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.